at the entrance of the massive estate. You've seen this massive structure from when you are coming into the estate of Sir Victor Uwaifo. I don't even know who that man is on the statue, but the gate was very massive and the statue was also very massive. The estate is nice, very, very organized, very quiet, and very nice. I really appreciate how organized the estate was. This is another massive house in the estate, and then by your right you will see the house of Sir Victor Uwaifo. That is the massive house of Sir Victor Uwaifo. That is the current house that they now build. I think that was after he passed, but he was actually living in the museum before he passed, I think so, before they built this new one for him. So, and this is another statue in the estate before you get to the museum. I think this was also sculptured by Sir Victor Uwaifo himself. So it was really nice, very massive statue with a man playing drum. So this is the entrance of the estate.
The museum is open to everybody. But I think there are a few people inside already. I was actually expecting to see a lot of tourists here, but fortunately, it's just me here right now. With a lot of people. This is the famous aeroplane that was sculptured by Sir Victor Uwaifo. It's a very large piece. It's very, very massive. Wow. This one here, it be like fire. So here it be like fire. Everybody here, even the sculptures are also musicians. Even the sculptures are also musicians. This one who guitar. Nice, very nice. Massive ego.
Palazzo was built by Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo of the blessed memory. So he was born on the 1st day of March 1941, and he was 80 years old when he died.
Wow.
So he built this house at the age of 30, and he lived there before he lived in this other house. So that is the house where he lived before he died. That thing told you know that this is a water fountain.
This Sir Victor Uwaifo also sculptured this one.
Yes, people can sit on it and snap pictures.
It's very nice. Very talented one.
So his statue used to be here. So it was taken to this other house.
Wow. It's a very fine art.
So each story or each image has a story with it. And this is known as Princess Adesua. So it happened in the 18th centuries here in the Kingdom. One day, a duke came from Delta State with his entourage to pay homage to her father. Her father was the chief in the Kingdom here. Meanwhile, she used to deal on livestock like goats and other domestic animals. And she's very pretty and fit to look upon. So that duke has a little kingdom. He's already married and is not handsome. So when the duke came, as she was just returning from the market, her father asked her to serve kola nut to that duke that came. So when you look inside this bowl, there's some kola nut in it. Wow. So when she was serving the kola nut, that duke was admiring her because she was so pretty and fit to look upon. So the duke said, "Marry me, I will take care of you." So when Princess Adesua looked at him, he said, "You are already married, you have a little kingdom, and you are not handsome." So that made the duke to be angry, but he did not reveal it to her. So one day the duke invited her to Delta State. That place is known as Obuluku, precisely. So when she went there, the duke pretended that he wanted to buy some of those livestock. So the duke, because Princess Adesua refused to marry him, the duke beheaded her. So yes. So when her father heard the news, her father was very angry with that duke. So her father only sent some men in Delta State to get that duke's head. So that was done. So the reason or the idea behind this story is that in Benin Kingdom, they don't allow females to serve kola nut because of that incident.
Let me know in the comment section if you know any of this story that this tour guide told in this whole video.
So this is a human being and a lion. This human being you are seeing represents the African continent or the African people. Then this lion represents the Europeans. the Europeans, they can produce a lot of things like airplane, vehicles, laptop, and many sophisticated things that they can produce.
Yes.
Then the African people don't produce anything, so they rely on them for survival. So in case the vehicle that the Europeans produce it has fault, the African people will repair it and it will start working again.
It's a big job.
Then there's a lot of things that the Europeans did to the African people that was so bad. They played a lot of pranks to us. They made us to believe in their own religion,
Yes.
to eat their kind of food,
Yes.
to dress in their own way, and also to do their kind of marriage. They came to African soil, they tapped a lot of resources from African soil, then they took it to their place to be producing all those things. They're making the African people to look inferior, as if they don't have anything. Then this is the kind of dressing that you can find in Gold Coast, Ghana. This is kind of their chieftaincy wear. But when you come here in Edo State, we have some Esan people that dress like this. Yeah, I don't know whether you have seen that.
I'm from Esan.
All right. But this is Benin royal dressing.
This one very well.
So it used to be white and white. So it has a skirt.
Yeah.
Then sometimes it used to be white and red.
White and red, yeah. I like that one.
Then this place is known as Obairediawa Open Air Court. So we can come in. This is known as Prince Odogbo, and the story revolves around doubt. So the Oba that reigned that time was known as Oba Ihebuda. He has 7 daughters and 1 son. Then the people in Benin Kingdom, they were doubting that the Oba does not have a son who could represent him when he passed on, or who could take his place when he passed on. Because the son is very handsome. So when he dresses up, he looks like a female. So the people in Benin Kingdom, they were doubting. So for Oba to settle their doubt, he ordered the prince to walk naked from Useni to the palace. So when he was walking naked to the palace, that was how they said, oh, indeed, Oba has a son who could take his place.
Wow.
So that idea was settle their doubt, was used to settle their doubt.
I heard something similar before.
Then this is the Benin chief fancy dress. This is the way their chief dress. They tie wrapper on their waist. They have some bead on their wrist. Then on this other side of their body, they don't wear any clothes. They still have bead on their neck. Then their hair is partly shaved, which is known as patapata. Yes.
So it's not European.
No, it's not a European. I thought I said that he's very handsome. He looks like a female. So
he's
the only
the same guy.
Yes, he's the only son of the Oba at that time.
This one was walking naked around the streets.
Yes, from Useni to the palace. That was how people said, okay, Oba has a son who could take his place when he passed on. We go like this. This is known as Oba Esige the Great. He reigned from 1504 to 1550. So he's the one that signed the agreement between the Portuguese and the Benin people in terms of trade. He was also a great warrior. He fought so many battles, especially the battle between the Portuguese and the Benin people. That battle is known as Idia Battle. So at that time, he normally comes to greet his people, his subjects. Then he will be riding on a horse, and he will be pulling a leopard along with him, a live one. And he will be telling them that they should be calm, that he's still in charge of the kingdom. So at that time, they will troop up with drums and dancing and rejoicing in order to welcome him.
Very nice. Amazing sculpture here. So beautiful. This was a new.
I will come to that side. Okay, sir. So this is known as many faces of the king's jester, Akaronwo of Benin. So that Oba was known as Oba Ewa the Great. He reigned from 1440 to 1473 AD to 1773 AD. So when you look at this image, it has many faces. But physically, the man does not have many faces. But in his mind, he has many faces because he is the one that will eulogize the Oba. He's the one that will also venerate him. So he's the one that can make the Oba laugh, even when he's in a sad mood. So one day, the Oba lost 2 of his sons, including the one that was supposed to inherit the throne. But there was nobody that had the courage to go to him to say, Oba, you have lost 2 of your sons. So he took the effort of the Akaronwo, but he expressed his view in a parable. So when he went to him, he told him that the rain that fell at Iyowa did not get to Sebi, and the rain that fell at Usebi did not get to Benin. So the king was just imagining what kind of parable is this. So the people in the Benin Kingdom encouraged and elderly man known as Ihama is the one that went to the Oba and told him that you have lost two of your sons.
Wow.
So when Oba got that information properly, he sent a town crier to all the people in Benin Kingdom that they should not dress in a fashionable way for 3 years.
That is,
yes, they should just wear clothes. They will not wash it. They will not wear good clothing. That they will not be in a fashionable way. Just be in a state of mourning. Then those that are married will not have carnal knowledge of their spouse for 3 years. And so many things that he told them that they should not do for that space of 3 years. So some of them look at it, they felt that that law was so hard on them. So they started migrating to neighboring states and villages like Aoshu, Uromi, and Delta State. So as if that was not enough. So when the Oba noticed that that law was making the population to reduce, he sent a town cry also to those neighboring states and villages that they should not give refuge to his people over there. Let him see if they can come back. But it was kind of late, but they have already settled in those places.
Yes.
So because of that, those of them that could not migrate, they were still in the Kingdom, he started giving them tattoos in order to identify them, so that in case they migrate, people will know that they are Benin people. So that was the origin of Benin travel mark, which is known as
Benin travel marks.
They have.
I thought all Yorubas have travel marks.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So this is for the women in Benin Kingdom. They take their hair as a sign of beauty. So before the advent of wigs weave-on, they can weave their hair by themselves, maybe like hand weaving.
Still happens today.
Yes, till date, as a sign of beauty, and also it makes them to be virtuous with the women. Go like this.
Yes.
This is known as Palazzo Gorilla.
Something like funny what he said.
Yes. This is known as the rickshaw. The rickshaw is a human-powered vehicle. It was invented in Japan in 1869. So it's a means of transportation and it's a means of employment. It gave employment to about 2,000 people. So during that time, if a nobleman or a chief want to see the Oba, he will sit on it, and somebody will be pulling it to the Oba's palace or to his destination. So when he comes down, he pays the person. So it was used in Durban, South Africa in 1904. It was also used in Benin Kingdom here in 1920s. So it serves as a means of transportation, like the mini buses we are having in these days, the tricycles, the pepenapeps, and other means of transportation.
The thing is very well preserved.
Yes.
Yes, it's very nice. It's very well preserved. This is an illustration of how it was used. An illustration. Very nice.
Okay. So this is the Oba, and this is a chief that he made a chief. The Oba is the one that crowned him a chief.
Yes.
After the war, so he looks a way to settle him, made him, because that war was successful. So he will come with celebration with members of his family to pay homage to the Oba. Then the Oba will sit like this and he will portray himself like this.
Yeah.
Pay homage. Then this is known as the Ebe. The Ebe is known as the staff of office and power and authority.
Okay. So called Ebe in this.
Yes. And this is the face of the man that found the great Benin Kingdom.
Wow.
It's known as Elaho. And this is the way in the Benin Kingdom, this is the way they get their water. They will put a pot of water, or they will carry it to the stream, then they fetch it, they put it on their head. When they go home, they can use it for washing and drinking. Then in those days in the Benin Kingdom, there were only 3 means of livelihood that was available to people. These for those that go to farm to harvest their cassava, their yam, and other food crops. Then they can take it to the market, they sell it, they can use the money. Then this for those that tap palm wine. When they tap it, they take it to market, they sell, they use the money. And this for those that lay bricks. They are also known as lebukes. They build houses for people and they are paid. So it's also made of bronze.
What about the sculptures?
The sculptures.
Doesn't the sculptures?
Yes. It was not included there, but it's also an idea. Then this is known as the elephant head.
Yeah.
This is known as the Soto. The Soto in Benin Kingdom is all about the 7 days burial. So when that 7 days burial is completed, that is when the eldest son can step into his father's shoes. So what that means is this: that is when he can inherit his father's properties.
Okay.
His father's lands, his wife's, and other things that belongs to the father. Then, during that time, this boss will be adorned with so many fabrics, wrapper. Then the eldest son will put this on his head. Then he will be dancing along the community with members of his family in celebration. Yes. Then the gold they are seeing has to do with wealth. The gold on it. Then this mirror reflects the person's life. So in Benin Kingdom, they're interested in long lifespan.
Yeah.
So before they can celebrate his support, the person should live at least 100 years upwards. So if the person is 60 years and that, they will feel that it's a small boy and just died.
A small boy.
So because of modernization,
Yes.
it looks as if the practice is not being carried out
Anymore.
but it is being practiced because it is an order from the Oba's palace.
So it still happens today?
Yes,
I've never heard this one before.
it happens. Finally.
It's amazing.
Then this is the Bongon. You know, in Benin Kingdom, whether rich or poor, they are not ashamed of their culture or their heritage. So this is a situation whereby an elderly man returns from work in the evening. He will sit on his rock and roll chair, relaxing. Then he will call a small boy who will load the tobacco into the cup. Then he will be fanning it with the aid of hand fan, while the man will be relaxing. Then he will be busy puffing the tobacco. Then this is the Biafran War. So the war broke out in 1967, and it was called by Mekan Zogo. So during that time, they lost so many properties that were so valued. Then the children at that time could not see food to eat. So that meant their belly to protrude. So their belly got swollen up, and that disease is known as kwashiorkor.
Is that the first time kwashiorkor was recorded?
Yes.
Wow.
Then this is the face of Queen Idia, the mother of Oba Esige. She was a great warrior. She fought so many battles. The battle between the Kogis and the Benin people, the Indian battle. So, and also there was a policy that she stopped. That policy was this: whenever they want to crown a prince, they will kill the mother. So when she came, she don't want them to kill her. So she stopped the policy. Yes. Then this is a leopard. It can be also seen in the Oba's palace. When you see the leopard, it's very gentle, quiet, and is dependable upon itself. So it's also stronger than other animals. So the reason why they use it is in form of strength. That's nice. Then this is Nigerian coat of arms. It's a symbol of unity and faith, peace and progress. Alright, this is a musket. The musket is a firearm that takes a lot of strength for it to use. So it was used during Oba Esige time, also with the Portuguese. They used it to fight that Ibia war. Yes. So this is how they can use it. You put it on the floor, you put so many gunpowder in it, then you hit it on the floor before you can trigger it. Because it takes a lot of strength.
It takes a lot of strength.
Yes. Then this bicycle was used by Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo when he was 12 years old. So he used it to go to Abudu to see his father. So he said he will keep it here. So when people come, they can see it. So this scene at the age of 12 when he started playing the guitar. And this is in 2006 on stage. So this place is known as the Hall of Fame. The reason why it is called the Hall of Fame is because we have the images and the awards that he won when he was alive. He was a member of St. Gregory College, Lagos State. Then he was also a student of Western Boys High School in Benin City.
Very educated man.
He said?
A very educated man.
Yes. So he is the one that used this keyboard. Yes. Wow. He was a music master. So he was so skillful in music. And this is Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, and the Pope when they visited Nigeria. So in 1983, he was confirmed with MON Award, member of the Order of the Niger by Alhaji Shehu Shagari. So this is Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo and Alhaji Shehu Shagari. So these are some of his awards, both local and international. bodybuilding exercise. So when he was 18 years old, he used to do 100 press up in a day.
At 80?
Yes.
Wow, that's a strong one.
And this same in Foster, 1977. And this same celebrating 30 years on stage. And this same and his loving wife and his children. The wife is still alive. He's also a government worker. This one, I have 3 children from him. He married other wives. And also he was a philosopher. So these are some of his quotes. He said, "A man who thinks he knows it all can never grow. All women behave alike. The difference is class and upbringing." That's very true. That's the sculpture of Mackenzie. This place is known as Independence Square. Also, we have the images of Nigerian past leaders. So, in the light of President Olusegun Obasanjo, Alhaji Tafa Balewa, Major General Tonsin Aguiyi-Ironsi, Chief Ernest Cheneko, Major General Mohammed Abacha, Major General Ibrahim Babangida, President Yar'Adua, and President Goodluck Jonathan.
We did a lot of work here.
Yes.
Yes, it is amazing.
And in those days in Benin Kingdom, there's what is known as hand weaving loom. That's for women who can weave clothes for themselves.
Is this the participant?
Yes, yes. Why this place is known as the slave trade or the slave market? Started from 1630 to 1865, and this is a slave master. He's trying to beat up one of his slaves. So, as you can see, they are heavily chained. They didn't commit any crime. They just sold them to the white man in order for them to work in their farm, or maybe in the exchange of gun or something else. But we discovered there's an advantage of the slave trade, which is this. When you go to America today, you see some blacks who are there and they have already raised family. That is one of the advantages of that slave trade. But we still have these advantages of that. In those days, when the Arabic people get some of these black slaves, they will use them as game. They will be fighting themselves. They will be showcasing them. They will be fighting themselves, and they will just eat themselves.
They were just as a bit.
Yes, and they will be no more.
That's so sad.
Then in those days in the Benin Kingdom, when the Europeans came, they were complaining that in the night time they cannot see properly. So that made the Benin people to get something. They invented what is known as street light. So they get so many of these, they light lamp to it, then they use wood to raise it along the street.
So the street has already there before you come here.
The street has been there. So as they were moving, they cannot see properly in the night.
So that's what I said. I thought the street light was already there before the European came.
The street has been there, but no, they don't see properly at the night. So this is known as the Anene Saga. So in the 80s, 1987, 1986, there were 3 of them that used to terrorize Benin Kingdom, Benin City. So the kingpin is known as Lawrence Nomayapo Anene. Is that one there? Yes. Then we have Monde Osumbo and DSP Iyamo. DSP Iyamo happens to be the policeman among them. So he provided them with transport logistics and also communication. So he uses a kind of cellular phone. So when Nigerian police is calling, he will get the information first. Then he will tell them that police is calling. Immediately they will leave the direction. So that is why they say that they used to disappear. They don't disappear. So that is based on superstition.
Yeah, everybody heard that they don't disappear this way.
So at that time, even when they get that money, they will just spray it to the people in the market so that people will be busy picking it. So, but one day they were publicly executed by Nigerian. So they caught them, they tied them behind the trees. So they shot them there.
It's in 19th division.
So they were buried in mass grave in Second Cemetery, Benin City.
Okay.
This is a man that is preparing native medicine. And then this is known as a ancestral shrine. So this is known as the staff of office that is given to the eldest son in the kingdom. And when you look, you can see that the staff of office has a human face on it.
Yes.
So in these modern days, it is in form of pictures of our ancestors, our grandfathers. So we place those pictures on the walls of our home. Then whenever we have need, we just go there, we kneel down, and we'll be looking at it, we'll be praying, believing that our ancestors can be the best people that can take our prayers to the Almighty God. Then this is a human skeleton. So what it means is this: in the society or in the family, don't ridicule anybody. So God can use anybody to turn things around. And this is Eyo masquerade. It's a kind of masquerade that is celebrated in Lagos State and in other western parts of Nigeria. Then this is Osoga, the mysterious monster. Whenever it comes with this python along with it. Okay. So at that time, it was killing market women, especially the women that goes to Agbado market. Sometimes little children and domestic animals. But he took the effort of Ogiame. Ogiame was the son of Ivan. So he threw a very hot red spear to the belly of the monster. So that was how the spear burst to the other side of the body of the monster. Then the monster died. So that made Ogiame to become an instant hero at that time. Then this is the story of Jolomi. He was a Benin by birth. But before the parents died, they did not give them any inheritance, him and his elder sister, except the information that they should not climb a particular palm tree at the backyard. But one day, Jolomi disobeyed. So he started climbing that palm tree. As he was climbing the palm tree was going tall to the extent that Jolomi found himself in hell. So while in hell, he started seeing devils. Some of those devils have 4 heads, 7 heads, and the case may be. So when he gets them, he will ask them, why are you having 4 heads? Why are you having 7 heads? You don't know that in earth we have 1 head and we are so handsome. So he started wrestling with them. So as he was wrestling with them, the elder sister turned to an invisible chorister. So she was singing a particular song for him. That's what it's talking Say that song means don't go and fight with the devils. Don't bet with this one. Because when you bet with him, he will just handle you. That is with a kind of speed. Wow. It's a very sweet story. So that was how he was wrestling with them. So as the sister was singing the song, he was filled with agility to wrestle more. So at the end, he thought that he has finished killing all the devils. He didn't know that one of them was still alive. So as he was about to leave the wrestling field, that devil that was alive used one of his fingers to draw him back to the wrestling field, but he narrowly escaped it. But before he could escape, he has already drawn a groove between the spinal cord and the backbone. So when you check the human back, there's a groove, a line between the backbone and the spinal cord. It was as a result of Jolomi's disobedience to his parents. I never knew that. See, this was by Redawa when he was younger. So this place represents the Oba's palace. So the reason why Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo used this place as the Oba's palace, normally when you go to see the Oba, it takes a lot of time. Maybe some days you will not even see him. So he said, okay, let's use that idea to put what looks like his palace here. And when people come, they don't see him, they can come here and get the idea of what it looks like. So at that time, when they come to the Oba's palace, come and demonstrate for them. When they come to the Oba's palace, they will put their hands together before they will say Oba Atopere Ise. So the reason why they do that is because in Benin Kingdom, the Oba is seen as a deity, and he is the head of all people in Benin Kingdom. So he deserves every respect from them. Then this is the Omada that stand by his side. So he carries this staff of office vertically above his shoulders. So this staff of office is also what is used today in the National House of Assembly and the State House of Assembly. So they use it. It is called mace. So they use it before they resume plenaries. And this is one-time executive governor of the state, Edo State, Governor Adams Ali Oshumole, when he visited the Oba's palace. And this is the Oba's head. You can see that the head is bigger than the body. The reason why it is like that is this. The head is the headquarter of the body. Yes. So the Oba is the head of the people in the Benin Kingdom, and he deserves respect from them. And this one is also that picture of Oba Eside. Whenever he comes to see his people, he will be riding on a horse. Then he will be pulling a leopard. So this is the proper picture of it. Then the people, they are drumming, they are dancing, they are running, they are running to welcome him. Yes, this is the Oba. Yes. People are dancing, singing. It's very nice. So this is Oba Ewuka II. It's in his real picture. Yes, he reigned from 1914 to 1933. So these are the costumes of the professor. He uses them on stage. So he said the reason why he used them on stage for him to have free movement on stage. Then he is the one that invented this double guitar, double neck guitar.
Famous double neck guitar.
The bass and the lead guitar.
Yes, that's what he invented.
Yes. Wow. So he also invented this one, the guitar with the piano.
It is very, very popular around the world.
Yes.
It's very popular around the world now.
Captain James Philip is a member of the European Army. This Asoro used to be the statue. The statue used to be at Ring Road.
So it's not there anymore.
It's there. This is known as General Logosere.
This is the same guy that is on the gate.
Yes.
The entrance.
Yes. He was very brave and also a warrior. So, but there's something that happened in 1897, which is known as the British invasion of the Benin Kingdom. So at that time, when the Oba was having a festival, normally they don't welcome visitors whenever they're having a festival. Yes. So the Europeans were coming, about 9 of them, including Captain James Philip. So Oba sent them a message that they should be at a place. After the festival, they can come in. So they paid in their ears, they refused, they started coming. As they were coming, they were intercepted by General Logosere with some chief in the courtyard, that is in the palace. So they killed about 7 of them, including Captain Philip. So he was killed and he was buried in Benin here. So when they killed 7 of them, the remaining 2 ran to their people. So when they went to their people, they were heavily armed. Then they came back. So they said that they were looking for how to kill General Logosere, that is using sham to fight. That they've shot him several times on his body, that it is not penetrating. So that was how somebody gave them a hypothesis that they should target him on his shadow. Whenever they see him coming in the hot afternoon, they should just shoot him on the shadow. So they were surprised. They said, okay, let them try that hypothesis that was given to them. So when he was coming in the hot afternoon, they shot him on the shadow. So that was how he started staggering. He said, oh, that his people have betrayed him. So he started weeping.
The religious leaders when they eat person inside house today.
So that was how they killed him. So when they killed him, the Europeans now came into the palace because there were no other armies that would have withstood them. So they started destroying the walls in the palace. They turned it into a rubble. They carried about 2,500 religious artifacts. Then and some boats.
They burned the museum.
Yes. So they took it to their place. And this is also Captain Moore. Is the one that replaced Captain Philip when he went on leave. And this is Oba Environment. So at that time, when they scattered the palace, they dethroned Oba Environment. They took him on an exile in Calabar. So this is the boat that carried him. So he is the one in the center here with some of his chiefs and some of the European armies. So they took him to Calabar. He stayed in Calabar for 17 years. Then he died in 1914.
And he never returned to Benin.
He didn't return to Benin. So he died in Calabar in 1914.
That's why people are very, very brutal.
Out of suspicious circumstances. So during that time, this was also the cannonball that was used in that battle between the Europeans and the people. So in the palace, the Oba was having some chief with him. They were working with him. We have Chief Oba Ogona, Chief Uso, and Chief Obaseki. So the Europeans, as they took the Oba on an exile, there was nobody to run the affairs of the kingdom. So that was how they were meeting the chiefs. They met Chief Uso, they asked him that he should take over the affairs of the kingdom. So he said that he saw him to betray the Oba, that he would rather kill himself.
Did he really think so?
Yes.
Wow, that's very active.
So when they met Chief Obaseki, as the grandfather of the former governor, to be the sole administrator of the kingdom. So they made him the sole administrator of the kingdom at that time. So that is the reason why people used to say that.
Maybe Oba would have come back if he take the show.
Yes. President Nelson Mandela, the first South African black president, John F. Kennedy, was assassinated, and Governor Donald Duke of Cross River, Chief Emeka Nyoko, Matai of Lebanon, Prime Minister Rafik El Harari, and Archbishop Benson Dahusa, Pentecostal preacher of Church of God Mission, and former professor of unit then, Professor Oshudin. The Kanu Wanko, the football legend, Shield and Obi, was a member of the PDP.
This is inside the plane.
Yes.
Wow.
So this is the aircraft.
Everything just connected.
Yes. So this is the aircraft that we were seeing outside. So it was made by Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo. So this is him here. He was a lecturer at the University of Benin at the Department of Arts and Applied Art. And he was the first commissioner of art and culture in Edo State. That was during Okigunidio regime. Then this place, that's the seat of the pilot. Then they call this place the first class, and this is the second class. This is also the third class, also known as economy class. The aircraft is also known as Revelation Tourist Palazzo.
Wow, this place is so amazing. Really that. I said when I was watching this thing on YouTube, I didn't think it was this big. It's very, very, very big. No, it's not for that. They cost much more. But I feel like
This place is not so. This is where you have this.
this record still good.
Alright, what is known as the grammar. It's what we use in the olden time.
I've never seen this one. This type of. I've seen it on the. So first you have to be rolling it for it to be playing. Okay, to roll it. But there are automatic ones now whereby you don't need to keep rolling it for it to continue playing. Yes, I know. So new things were better. Yes.
This place is also known as cultural peace. This is a story of him. One day after war, when he was working with that nation, he went to Baptist to ask. While he was in that day, he stayed there all through the night. you are born, as a inspiration. All of a sudden, so a shining light at the end of the mission. It's very shining. For himself, as I was looking, he heard a voice. He started going.
Oh, yeah.
He said, "Yeah."
I watched an interview before.
Yeah.
I watched an interview before. You
The
see.
man said, "Don't worry, don't worry. Don't worry, don't worry." When you get to the news,
I watched that interview. Very nice.
you see who was now.
Whenever you run away,
Yeah.
oh my God.
You will put the finish.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the song that one that that's what he's saying. So this is the thought that we need to see. Normally, we are in those days. We have some words red and white. What we do that is
Wow. You know that before. And it's not back.
Another time, in 1891, when somebody from this
Really? This can be light up. Let me check. Can you put the light up? Wow. I really hold this up.
when the person
That is for this one will be on. This is for my other thing. This light is not big. Thank you, sir.
this is also doing that. Going back time, remember the very instrument.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Everything is also happening.
What did you really stop it? After this, I could really stop. Wow.
This also a new. So, whenever you have something, that is categorically solve that course.
I never knew any of that plugin.
So after that, you can.
There's much.
So this place used to be the all these have been showing legend.
The legend. How long does it take me to do this place?
Okay, what happened is that you take some days, you get into getting ideas. Once you step out, I think those are interesting.
Wow. So nobody knows the exact amount it took him, the amount of years it took him to do this. I'm sure this thing would have finished if he was still alive. He would still be building. Yeah, I was going to ask that when we get to the light. I was going to ask why the thing is in this state. There's no light or stuff like that. Wow. But why is the management or his children, family, they are not getting it? For a man as great as Sir Victor Uwaifo, this is something a government should have treasured. Government need to like look into it and do something about that. Like even if the family ignores it, government should have at least. Wow. I heard even it to be even expanded because there are some things that need to be preserved like that carriage. That carriage needs to be preserved. A lot of things need to be preserved here and maintained very well. I heard he also invented the car here. The one covered. I wish I could visit the whole car. I wish I could visit the whole car. Even the tire is still very good. Don't use this kind of tire for cars again. Yes, this is car is very nice. I will look for the picture online to attach it to the video. You should have be a start of a new company if it was people actually maintained. Be a start of a new company, car brand Nigeria. About them. It's really break my heart to see. It's really break my heart to see that a wonderful something like this is not being preserved for the future. Let's dilapidated and let's abandon like this. It really break my heart to see things like this. I've seen it many times online and I said like even if it's not in the state it's supposed to be, I need to see it with my own eyes. I need to witness it. I've been a big fan of Sir Victor Uwaifo for a long time. Wow. When I was thinking that I will meet some people here. I need to try the place. Quiet. Check out that. Really sad. The government of Edo were just stating need to do something about this place. This place needs to be preserved. There's a lot here that need to be preserved. Alright.